ਹੁਣ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਨਰੇਬਲ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ। ਦੱਸ ਦਈਏ ਕਿ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਟੀਨ ਬੋਇਲ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆਫ ਹਾਊਸਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਮਿਊਨਿਸਪਲ ਅਫੇਅਰ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਦੱਸ ਦਈਏ ਕਿ MLA ਫਰੋਮ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਮਾਊਂਟੇਨ। ਸੋ ਜਿਨੀ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ BC ਹਾਊਸਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਕੰਸਰਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ। ਸੋ ਆਓ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰੀਏ।
Good morning, Minister.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me on.
No, thank you for coming out and sort of phoning in so we can have a little chat. First of all, congratulations on your new file of housing
Thank
and
you.
municipal affairs. It's a very exciting
Thanks.
file and
I'm enjoying it.
that's excellent. So one of the first questions we have for you is, what is going to be the impact of the federal announcement of $13 billion for housing? How is BC going to benefit? What do we know so far?
I am confident that it will mean dollars coming to BC to help build more affordable housing for people across the income spectrum. We know we need more supportive housing for folks who are struggling or are sleeping in shelters or on the street. We also know we need more affordable housing for families and for seniors, that a lot of people are struggling with the cost of housing, and these federal dollars are intended to help across a whole range of incomes. And BC has thousands of new units of homes shovel ready to be built in partnership with nonprofits, in partnership with co-ops, and in partnership with the private sector to build more homes that people need. And we've been advocating for federal funding to help get those homes built.
Were you surprised that that BC or one of our cities was not on the list for the lead projects that were announced?
I was surprised, and of course I was disappointed to see that. We have so many good projects ready to get going, but I understand that the lead projects are large pieces of federal land, and BC is ready and has been at the table in many conversations already about all of the projects that we have ready to go. So I'm hopeful we'll be part of the next set of announcements, but disappointed to not be part of that initial launch.
Minister, one of the questions we hear often is, what is BC doing about housing? I know that the BC government also has a significant dollar amount targeting the housing crisis. Can you go over some of the plans that BC has?
Absolutely. We are using every tool in the toolbox in BC to deliver more affordable housing and keep people in their homes, in communities all over the province. We've made a historic $19 billion investment, the largest housing investment in BC's history, to deliver more housing throughout the province. That is going into housing across the whole income spectrum. But we're also working through the Rental Protection Fund to buy older rental housing stock so we don't see residents displaced, and those units are going into nonprofit ownership and people can stay in their homes, and we protect the affordability of those homes. We're working to make sure that homes aren't sitting empty, that they're available for people as long-term renters, to call communities across BC home. And we're working closely with local governments as well to make sure that every community across the province is doing its part. There are some cities and towns that are delivering housing really well, and others who have fallen behind. And so we're working with all of those local governments to make sure that every community builds more homes that we need. And the last thing I'll say as an example is that we're also working to make sure that a whole range of housing options are being built. We have made sure that townhomes and multiplexes and small apartments and transit-oriented homes are all legal and allowed in every municipality in the province, and that they're being built so people have housing options close to where they work, in communities where they love, and where they can raise a family and grow old.
Thank you, Christine. The other thing is you mentioned a dollar amount that the BC government is investing in housing. Can you just repeat that number for me? I didn't quite catch it. And over how many
Yes,
years?
a $19 billion investment. That's been our commitment through the Homes for People Action Plan. We've started spending those dollars. They've been in a whole range of grants, and homes are being built and moved into already, and we have many more projects on the way.
Minister, what we're hearing from the real estate industry is that there is supply. Houses are out there, they are on sale, but people are not buying. So, what is the government going to do to help to kickstart, let's say, our housing sector?
We've been working closely with industry on a whole range of fronts, both to get more homes built because we certainly need more homes and especially more family-sized homes, more rental housing, more affordable housing. So we've been working closely with the sector to get permitting times down. We've been making changes like spreading out certain fees so that it makes it financially viable to build the types of new homes that we need. We've seen an increase in rental housing starts as an example, which is one type of housing we know that we needed more of. And we'll keep meeting with and working with home builders as well as the community housing sector and local governments, all really key partners to making sure that we're delivering homes and people are able to move into them.
My last question to you, Minister, is really around what is the government doing to assist young people who, by young, I mean people in their 30s. Age is a relative number. Young people who are looking at accommodation, one of the sort of human rights we have, and are not seeing a pathway towards being able to buy their own home because of the prices. Even the ones who are earning $70,000, $80,000 a year are looking at the price of housing and saying, how do I enter this market? So it's not, to me, it is about housing supply, but it's also about people not willing to take the risk or not being able to afford it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a great question, and I hear it and think about it all the time. One of the important, so of course, building more stable rental housing is important for young people who are moving out of their parents' homes. And I have a 21-year-old who may be looking for housing at one point, or for long-term renters. We're also working on more affordable housing options. So a single family home is often not going to be, these days, the first housing purchase for a young person. But legalizing townhomes or a fourplex or a sixplex or small scale condo buildings allows somebody to get their foot in the market, and building those types of homes in every community around the province makes them more available and accessible and means people can stay in the community that they call home or the community that they love. So more housing options makes a big difference in terms of affordability and availability. That we're also working with Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Nations in Vancouver on a attainable home ownership model, and I can talk about that more another time in terms of the details, but looking at how we can help first-time home buyers get into the market in new and creative ways. Absolutely a priority for us, and we'll keep working on it.
We certainly look forward to having that conversation with you at a different time. My co-host has a question for you, Minister.
Minister, one last question for you. You just mentioned the rental housing. So question to you is, how is the government supporting low and moderate income renters? Because we've seen quite a dramatic hike in the rent. So is there any plans you're taking? What's your take on that?
Yeah, again, a really good question. A lot of families, even folks working in in good, stable jobs struggling with the cost of rent these days. A big part of our solution on that front has been our significant investments in non-market and co-op housing. So we're seeing many, many more below market and low end of market homes delivered to meet the needs of, a childcare worker or a barista or somebody getting into construction. So many important folks we're hearing from struggling to meet rent, as well as seniors on pensions feeling the pressure. So non-market housing, co-op housing meets an important piece of that segment of the population, and we have been working very closely with the community housing sector to deliver more of those homes outside the market and at below market prices.
Thank you, Minister. And I want to thank you for giving us the time this morning. And we're looking forward to having further conversations because, as we say in Punjabi, roti kapda makan, and that is housing, clothing, and the right to shelter are basic needs. And people are worried about housing. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Talk to you again.